So moving on to something a little more sexy. My segues are on point this week. We've got Bike of the Week. And this time it's probably one of the first custom BMW R12s that have been built. We saw a couple at the bike shed, but it seems like BMW are making it happen with some of their sort of trusted custom shops, one of whom must be, well, I'm going to say Walzwerk, but I'm pretty sure if you were German, you'd say Walzwerk. Is that right?
Yes, I would say so. Yeah, sure.
Let's say Walzwerk. It sounds better. And yeah, basically what they've done is taken the R12 cruiser, effectively it's a cruiser, and turned it into this phenomenal looking scrambler that's almost like the desert sled you were lusting over from Ducati. It's basically massively jacked up, off-road biased. And I mean, first impressions, mate, this looks phenomenal, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to use the word svelte because it just looks nice and light and compact, tight. Everything's sort of like in there. The seat is really, really slim, ridiculously slim. It's got those completely unusable mud guards front and rear, so you're just getting caked in mud, so that's always fun. And it's got the low bars that are of no use to anyone with a Scrambler, but it's all about the looks, isn't it? So yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful looking bike. I do like that a lot.
It sort of has, obviously, a shade of the Urban GS of the previous generation, yes. R9T, which has been, I guess, discontinued. Perhaps BMW were going to announce their own updated Urban GS or R12 Scrambler at some point, but maybe this is a good sign of what's to come. I think it's a really good point on the tail end. They've done a great job there. God knows how they've hidden everything, because actually for the R12, BMW actually moved the air intake from around the tank area and put it in a traditional spot under the seat. And then obviously Walzwerk have had to undo all that. But they do say that it was quite simple in some ways to remove and replace the subframe, because it's bolt on, and they said just 4 bolts and it's off, and then we could fit our own seat and subframe. So that's definitely transformed the look at the back end. They've gone for the sort of M Sport colours, which really do suit this Scrambler style of bike. It's the stock tank, I think, with some slight adaptations and custom paint. That's from the R12 Cruiser.
Yeah.
Like you say, custom short mud guards. They worked with Touratech, who make a lot of adventure bike stuff, to come up with some custom suspension to jack it up and convert that cruiser stance to something more scramblery. And then the wheels are quite phenomenal. So they used the optional spoked wheels from the R12 accessories catalogue, which are a 19-inch front and a 16 rear. So they're, let's say, cruiser dimensions. But then they took new stainless steel spokes and then laced those hubs with the new spokes onto rims from an R1250 GS to end up with these very, well, I'm going to say Frankenstein wheels.
I guess.
That actually really do hit the mark, though. They look fantastic. And who'd have thought taking the R12's hubs, get some different spokes in, and then some GS rims would come up with something that works like that. But
I guess you have to know your craft when you're doing that. But yeah, I mean, gold, so obviously they're going to add some speed. They will be heavy, so they will also then take away that speed. But I love tubeless tyres as well. The fact that it just sort of pops out ever so slightly on the edges. I don't know how you feel on this, but I absolutely love that.
The spokes get laced into the edge of the rim. I think it does look good, doesn't it?
Yeah, really.
Continental TKC80 tyres, which I've probably said this before, but I had them on my Triumph Street Twin when I tried to make it look more scramblery. Brilliant off-road tyres, I think, or like adventure on-off tyres. Yeah. Not the best on the road. It's like riding a Lego motorcycle. Do you know what I mean? There's no subtlety to it. It's either on its side or it's upright, and it does feel quite bumpy. SC Project full system. I'm sure it sounds phenomenal. And then lots of Walzwerk's own little products like the headlight brackets. There's a Monza fuel cap, their own LED lighting, replacing the tail light and the indicators. And I'm sure many, many more pieces. Now, this one's going to cost €29,950. And they'll be building one a month. So get on the wait list if you want one. But another spendy bike. But I've got to say, she looks fantastic.
Yeah, that would be the way I'd go with the custom. I mean, that is definitely what I would do with the custom for the, I say that now, just looking at it. Yeah, like I'd have designed that. But no, honestly, that really does hit the spot for me for taste.